Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to remove a watch band, or sorry, a watch, how to adjust your watch links if you need to make it smaller, and also how to remove the back, the watch case back if you're going to be replacing the battery. So I have this really old Timex watch here, and what I did is I just bought a watch repair kit from Amazon. It's just like a really basic one. You can see here comes with a whole bunch of tools, but for our purposes, I'm just going to show you how to use this tool here and this tool here to remove the pins to adjust the bracelet length, and then we're going to use this tool to remove the case back. So to start, when you're using this tool here, you can see there's a needle that can go in and retract back, and at the same time there's a little gap here, which is where the needle would get pushed out from the watch band. There's also a platform here that you can lower or put down depending on the thickness of the watch band. So right now you can see we have the holes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this first hole here with this needle. So I'm just going to put it on here, and because this watch band is not that thick, I'm just going to lift that platform up a bit, and you can see here it's pretty much lined up. So I'm just going to start rotating this in, and now that I actually have it in there, I'm going to check the flip side and just make sure that there's clearance, which I can see, yes there is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start rotating this, and that needle is going to start popping out. So you can see it's coming out and the needle is going in. So I'm not going to put it all the way out just because I want to show you the second tool. So let me just retract this back. Okay, and I'm just going to pull that out. And now you can see that the the pin has come out a little bit. So you could have gone, or I could have gone a bit further with this tool, but I just prefer using this tool better because you're not worrying about balancing the link or anything like that. So I'm just gonna put the needle that's protruding through one of these holes, like so. And you can tell on the watch band there's these directional arrows here, if you can see that, and it tells you where you should be hitting that link from. So I'm just going to put that in, put this pin punch tool here, and I'm just going to start hitting it with this little hammer. Try to do small repeated taps instead of really huge ones. The other thing is, because it's all metal, you don't want this metal piece here to hit the metal link here. If you're picky about stuff like that, then do it slowly like I'm going to be. So small taps, and you'll encounter resistance, and then at some point it just goes right through and you can feel that it's loose. So you can see the link is pretty much out. Now the depth of this tool doesn't allow it to go all the way through. So now what I'm going to do is just going to pull, and there goes the first pin. Now the next thing I want to do is to remove one link. So I'm going to have to do that same process again. Now this time I'm just going to use the pin punch tool from the start. So I'm just going to line it in here. One thing to note is, because of this clasp here, it's hard to get it all the way in because it can't fit. So this part's a little bit tricky. So I'm just going to put the pin punch tool again, make sure the opposite end is lined up with the hole, and small repeated taps. And you can see that was pretty loose, so I know it's pretty much out. And just pull that out, and there you go. So that's one link removed. So you just join this back up right here. You could put it right here in the hole again if you wanted, and then use the same tool, just the hammer, to push the needle back in. So let's leave that there, and we'll move on to removing the case back. Okay, I'm back. So the next thing we're going to tackle is how to remove this case back so that we can replace the battery. So some of them, they're just held on with screws, and those are really easy. And then the other ones are with these little divots here. And you just have to, kind of put some teeth in here, and then you can rotate it. So with this one, usually when you're going to be doing this, your watch band is going to be completely assembled, of course, which is going to make fitting a tool like this, which is used to open the back, pretty difficult. You're not going to have much clearance, especially if the watch band doesn't have a lot of give. So what most professional guys are going to do, and I'm not a professional, is they're going to use this type of tool, which has a fork attachment at the end of it. Can I get focus? Let's see. Okay, so you can see it has a fork on one end and a fork on the other end. And what that is used for is inside this watch band, the rod here that connects both sides, there's a lip on there, and what you can do is hook this fork into that lip, pull it backwards, and that retracts it so that you can pop the bracelet out. Now, I don't like doing that way. I find it's more difficult. Maybe if you have a lot of experience, it's not going to be an issue for you. But the way I like to do it is the lazy way, which is I'll just remove one of those needles, like we did, one of the pins like we did earlier, and then boom, we have entire access here. So the tool we're going to be using is this tool. It's called a JAXA tool, and it was part of this kit, but there's higher quality ones that are sold standalone. Now, to use this, you're going to match these three here to three of these divots back here. Now, some of these tools just have two to match, but we're going to do it with this tool, which is three. So you just kind of have to eyeball it. So I'll match it in the first divot here, and I'll see how much I need to adjust so that the second one makes contact. So to adjust it, you can just rotate these. You can see it goes in and out, and this bottom one is by the handle, it goes in and out. So let's just line these up. Okay, so I think that's close enough. So what I'm going to do is just going to tighten this bottom one. And when I think that's tight enough, I'm just going to rotate. And you can see now it's loose. And this part you can do by hand. If you have like a rubber band or something, you can press it down to get a little more grip. And I'm just going to rotate this out and lift it up. And there we go. Now we have access to change the watch battery. And this part's pretty simple. On most watches, you can see the battery. There's a little clip here, right here, that's holding the battery in. You just push that back, the battery will pop up, and then you can put in your new battery. And this was the clip right here, right there. And then, to put everything back, you would just put this back on, screw it in. If this tool wasn't adjusted, just put it back, rotate it the opposite way to tighten it. One thing I did notice about this tool is when I first got it, I could not rotate this very easily. It was quite stiff, it was difficult to rotate. And the reason why was because these two screws were tightened so much that I couldn't actually rotate it. Now I've loosened these, I can rotate it. Now the one downside is, it's not a super secure fit because these aren't tightened, and it's too much of a hassle to every time adjust this and then tighten this back. So I just have a little bit of slack, and it's been working for me. So that's how you change the watch case back if you need to change the battery, and how you adjust the links. Now, if you guys know of any other tools or an easier way to do this, leave a comment down below, or let me know what tools you guys are using. I'd be happy to know. Like I said, this is just a beginner tool, and it's let me adjust the links on a watch I just bought and change out the battery on two watches that had dead battery. So it's a pretty good tool for that, but I know there's much better quality items out there. if you guys leave a comment in the comment section below, I'd be happy to look at those for just, future, in the future when I have to replace watches. All right, thanks guys. Bye.